Hi, I'm Dom Hind, and fuck, I'm nearly 50. Actually, I'm 47 and a half, but who's counting? When I launched this podcast, I thought it'd just be a fun hobby project, a chance to chat to my friends, give a voice to the things we usually whisper about, and maybe learn a few things along the way. But 12 episodes in, I've realized I've learnt a lot. Things I thought I knew but didn't, things I didn't want to know but needed to, and things that made me stop and go, wow, maybe 50 isn't the beginning of the end. Maybe it's the start of something amazing. So today, it's just me. No guest, no interview, just me reflecting on everything I've heard so far and how it's shaping the way I think about life at this stage. And when I sat down to make sense of it all, I realized that everything I've learnt, all the advice, the hacks, the stories, they fall into six big themes. Six things that keep coming up no matter who I talk to. So that's how I'm going to share it today. Six key themes for thriving as we head towards 50. And maybe that's the biggest surprise of all, that at nearly 50, I'm still a beginner in so many ways. Still curious, still making so many mistakes, still laughing my way through the what the fuck moments. Because fuck, I'm nearly 50, and isn't it amazing? Theme one, being a beginner and loving it. This one is personal because before we get into health and hormones and big reinventions, the first thing I've learned is simply the joy of being a beginner. When I started this podcast, I knew nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. Uploading an episode, no idea. Cutting clips, forget about it. Using AI, yes, I love it, but not for doing a podcast. Even Instagram Reels, I had to learn it all from scratch. I'll never forget the first time I uploaded to Buzzsprout. I thought it was live, but it wasn't. I'd missed a step. So there I was, proudly telling people, go listen, when in reality, it didn't even exist. Or the first reel I made, it literally ended mid word. But here's the thing, I loved it. Being a beginner is humbling, messy, and kind of exhilarating. It keeps you alive. And then the messages started coming in. Thank you, I needed this. I sent this to my sister. Suddenly I realized even if I messed up the tech, some people were listening. The lesson, don't be afraid to start. Don't be afraid to look silly, to look crazy, to have fun doing it, because at nearly 50, being a beginner is a gift. It keeps us curious and brave. And once I embraced being a beginner with podcasting, it made me braver about being a beginner in other parts of my life, especially with my health. Number two, owning your health and hormones. If there's one message I want every woman to hear, it's this: own your health. Shelley Horton put it perfectly. Stop soldiering through. Don't dismiss your symptoms. Don't let doctors dismiss them either. Track your cycles, note your moods, and advocate yourself. Her peri-survival kit was simple but powerful. HRT, vaginal estrogen, testosterone. And beyond the science, her bigger point was that we deserve better. Better healthcare, better conversations, better support. Zoe Bingley Pullen backed that up with nutritional wisdom. Food isn't just calories, it's chemistry. Protein and whole foods keep our hormones steady, while sugar and processed carbs push us into chaos. Use colour in your food to keep it interesting and go places that inspire you. Markets, fresh food stores, anywhere that you can get creative about food. Zoe gave me 3 really practical hacks I still use. Protein at every meal. Midlife is where our muscle mass naturally starts to decline. So protein should be our anchor. Eggs, fish, lentils, beans. Crowd out the bad, don't just cut. Instead of obsessing over what to avoid, load your plate with whole nutritious foods first. Cravings naturally shrink. Food is mood. What you eat doesn't just affect your waistline, it directly affects your stress, your sleep, and your mood. Eating well is emotional self-care. And Amelia Phillips taught me that inflammation is the quiet villain in midlife. The fatigue, the aches, the can't be bothered feeling, often it's inflammation driving it. Her hacks were simple, colourful, anti-inflammatory foods like the packaged beetroot, daily movement, and actual rest. Amelia also gave me a brilliant way to actually make new habits stick. Don't go drastic, don't overhaul everything. Instead, focus on one thing per term. Just one new habit every few months, like upping your protein or committing to better sleep. By the end of the year, you've stacked up 4 new habits without overwhelming yourself. Other gems from Amelia? Exercise for energy, not punishment. Move to feel good, not to earn food. Track your energy instead of just your weight. How you feel is a better marker than the number on the scales. The lesson here? Our bodies are not betraying us, they're speaking to us. And if we listen and act now, we set ourselves up for decades of vitality. But health isn't just about hormones and food, it's also about guts, skin, and how our bodies carry us into the future. Theme 3, gut, skin, and longevity. This one blew my mind. Dr. Craig Hafer reminded me that gut health is the command center. It's not just digestion, it's immunity, mood, even how we age. His advice was refreshingly simple. Ditch the ultra-processed stuff. Watch preservatives. If bread lasts weeks, it's not helping your gut. Fiber is your friend. Psyllium husk is his go-to every day. Mine is chia seeds. And don't obsess over fancy probiotics. Prebiotics and whole foods matter more. And he reminded me that movement outdoors literally changes your microbiome. A walk in nature is medicine and better for you and your gut. On the outside, Dr. Philip Tong reframed skin. Skin isn't vanity, it's an organ. SBS is a preventative medicine. Skin checks save lives, and building a strong barrier is as vital as building strong bones. Together, they reminded me that longevity isn't just about living longer, it's about health span, living well inside and out. And once I started looking at health more holistically, I realized it's not just about the body, it's also about the mind. So theme 4 is about mindset and reinvention. If there's one thing I've learned in midlife, it's this. Your mindset shapes everything. Shannah Kennedy hammered home that tomorrow starts today. Don't wait, don't drift. Every yes is a no to something else, so make sure it's worth it. She also helped me define my values: health, family happiness, pleasure, adventure, and fun. They're my compass now. Every decision I make is based on these. One of her tips I loved was seasonal goals. Not everything has to be done at once. Winter is perfect for hibernating, tackling the admin, doing the tax, settling the systems. Then spring and summer can be about growth, energy, and new projects. Breaking goals into seasons, making them realistic and achievable. Other gems from Shannah? Write a life plan. Not just career, but health, family, finances, and fun. Create rituals, small daily anchors like a morning walk or journaling that keep you grounded. Lydia Ranieri showed me that clarity isn't just about adding more, it's about subtracting. Simplify your diary, simplify your commitments, simplify your thoughts. And Nigel Marsh, he called it, balance is bullshit. We've been sold this myth that we can have everything in neat slices, but we can't. We can design a life that actually works for us instead. The big shift for me, moving from chasing to choosing. Reinvention isn't one big leap, it's daily deliberate decisions. And talking about reinvention, some of the most powerful stories came from women brave enough to start completely over. Theme 5, courage, reinvention, and career shifts. The stories of reinvention have stayed with me. Justine Armour, one of my dearest friends, reminded us that success on paper doesn't mean fulfillment. At the top of her industry, she still chooses authenticity over titles. She's learnt that growth over time and changed her leadership style to be truly authentic to her. Talitha Cummins showed us that starting over at 40 is not only possible, it can be joyful. She left TV, embraced sobriety, and built a jewelry brand with purpose. And Tracy Hall, she brought it home with honesty. Fuck, I wasn't ready, but I am now. Life threw her curveballs, divorce, loss, uncertainty, and she rebuilt from the ground up. Tracy also gave me a reality, practical finance hack. Check your bank statements weekly, not monthly, Not once a year, weekly. Because if you don't know what's coming in and going out, you can't make smart decisions. Another gem from Tracy: create a curveball fund, even a small emergency stash just for the unexpected. Have the hard conversations early with partners, kids, or family about money, wills, and health plans. And like Amelia Tracy, also hammered home the importance of sleep. Protect it, prioritize it, guard it, because without good sleep, everything else falls over. These women reminded me that reinvention isn't optional, it's part of life. And if you lean into it, it can be liberating. But survival isn't just about careers and curveballs, it's also about the people you walk through it with. See, theme 6: relationships and connection. If midlife has taught me anything, it's that friendships are medicine. Maddie Marsh reminded me that friendships aren't extras, they're lifelines. They're the people who know your history, who've seen every version of you, who make you laugh when everything feels heavy. In a stage of life where family changes, careers shift, and hormones rage, friendships steady the ship. They remind us of who we are. The lesson: nurture them, prioritize them, because in the end, it's not your six pack that anyone remembers, it's how you made them feel. The common thread, and something I've noticed across all of these conversations, is this: talk about what's going on, don't hold it in. If you can talk to your partner, your girlfriends, or family, do it. And if you can't, then talk to your GP. But here's the catch: make sure you've got a good GP, one who listens, one who takes you seriously, one who's willing to work with you. And build a team of healthcare professionals around you, whether that's a nutritionist, a physio, a dermatologist, a psychologist, whatever you need. Because midlife isn't a time to go it alone. You're the leader of your team, but you don't have to be the only player. And another big one: get your baseline. Book your skin check, do your bloods, take photos if you want to track changes. Know where you're starting from, because that's a huge thing. And without a baseline, you don't know what's changing or when to step in. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that catching things early, whether it's health, hormones, or habits, makes all the difference. So, one of my favorite parts of these conversations has been asking my guests what they'd challenge me or anyone to try before hitting 50. And the answers have been brilliant and made me think. Justine Armour said, take a solo trip, even just a few days. Go somewhere on your own, set your own rhythm, eat what you want, wake up when you want. The independence is addictive, and it reminds you that you're capable of so much more than you give yourself credit for. Tracy Hall suggested creating 50 before 50 list. 50 things you want to do, try, or experience before this milestones. They don't all have to be massive. Some can be simple: a new recipe, a walk somewhere different, a coffee with an old friend. Others can be big: a trip, a course, a career leap. It's about intention, not perfection. Dr. Craig Hafer gave me the most practical challenge: get a scan, which I've already done, and listen to your body. Do your baseline health checks, blood, skins, bowel screen, and then pay attention. Notice how food, movement, stress affects you. Your body whispers before it screams. Lydia Ranieri said, become a beginner at something. Pick anything: a language, a pottery class, learning to surf, doing a podcast. The discomfort of not knowing is where you find energy and joy. Dr. Philip Tong suggested, write a letter to your future self. Imagine you at 45, 55, 60, or 70. What do you want to thank them for? What do you want to remember? Is there some way of checking how you're living now and making sure it aligns? Nigel Marsh challenged us to do something kind or courageous when no one is watching. Help someone, give quietly, take an action that aligns with your values, and tell no one. It's about doing it for the integrity of it, not the applause. And others added gems too. Shelley Horton: talk openly about your perimenopause or menopause systems. Whether it's with your friends, family, or GP, start the conversation and refuse the silence. Amelia Phillips said, protect your sleep like it's sacred. Set a bedtime, make your room cool and dark, and stop glorifying exhaustion. Oh. Shannah Kennedy, write down your values and use them as your compass. Make every decision through that lens. The point of all these, you don't need to wait until you're 50 to live deliberately. You can actually start now. So, the summary, my own learnings. So those are the 6 big themes I've learnt so far. Being a beginner, stay curious, start messy, keep learning, owning your health and hormones, track, advocate, and act now. Gut, skin, longevity, inside and out, it all matters. Mindset and reinvention, tomorrow starts today, simplify and choose. Courage in career shifts, reinvention isn't optional, it's survival. Relationships and connection. Friendships are the glue. They're the medicine. And if I boil it down to my own personal survival kit, here are 10 things I'm taking with me into the next decade. 1, protect your sleep. It's the super elixir. Thanks to Shelley, Amelia, and Tracy for reminding me of this. Build every plate around proteins, plants, and fiber. Fuel. Don't starve. Advocate for yourself with doctors, with bosses, with life. 4, reset as often as you need to. Life is phases, not a straight line. 5, nurture friendships. Laughter and honesty are medicine. 6, never stop being a beginner. Curiosity keeps you alive. 7, move daily, preferably outdoors. Exercise is about brain, gut, joy, not just calories. Do the preventative stuff. Skin checks, bowel screening, blood tests, catch it early. Make space for stillness. Meditation, journaling, or just sitting in the car for 5 minutes before the kids pile in. Choose joy unapologetically, whether it's a glass of wine, a chocolate binge, dancing in the kitchen, or a girls' trip. Fun is fuel. So there it is. 12 conversations, 12 voices, 6 big themes, 1 common thread. Talk, track, and build your team. And a 10-point survival kit I'm carrying into the next decade. And me, a beginner who still sometimes presses the wrong buttons, cuts the wrong clips, and wonders if anyone is actually listening. But then I get your messages and I know this is worth it. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one thing from today, book the skin check, do your bloods, track your symptoms, add the fiber, say no to something that doesn't align, call your best friend, try something brand new, and be a beginner again. Because this isn't about getting to 50 quietly. This is about striding in, laughing, crying, owning it, because fuck, I'm nearly 50. And isn't it amazing? Yeah!